Good afternoon, everybody. There's 3 major advantages you have as an independent artist. I'm going to start off with number 3. Number 3, you have complete freedom. Complete freedom to do whatever you want as an artist. You can release as much as you want. You can release as little as you want. You can drop content as much as you want. Videos as much as you want. You can make 10 videos for one song if you want. You can make 1 video. You can make no videos. Now, if you are on the smaller side of that, where you're not making no videos or dropping no content, or even dropping songs for that matter, number 1, you should really consider, am I actually an artist right now? And number 2, you're probably not gonna make a whole lot of any kind of money if you do that. But you have complete freedom, right? You can do whatever you want. You can feature with anybody. You can do songs with any artist. A lot of these labels have like certain regs and certain contractual negotiations where, or contractual agreements, I'm sorry, where you have to do certain things, right? You have to tour at this time. You have to go here at this time. We're going to get you a feature with this artist. The song has to sound this way. Like, it's just a whole lot of constraints that you'll be placed under when you're not an independent artist. But when you are independent, you have complete freedom to move and maneuver and do everything that you want to do. It's honestly one of the more refreshing things, right? Because you get to experiment with different sounds. What works for you, what doesn't work for you. What kind of beats do people prefer to hear your voice over? What kind of subject matters do they prefer? Like, it's all kinds of things that being an independent artist brings to the table. And that freedom is the first thing that comes to mind, because if you look at artists like Tech N9ne, some of you guys don't even know who Tech N9ne is, but Tech N9ne has been on the Forbes. He's been on Forbes. Like he's independent, but he's been on Forbes. He does financially very well, but people wouldn't know that because he's not headlining everything. You don't hear his name all the time. But if you go beneath the mainstream artists, Tech N9ne is top dog. He makes more money than majority of artists, period. He's independent, and Tech N9ne makes the kind of music he wants to make, right? Don't get it twisted. He can rap his ass off, but he makes the kind of music that he wants to make. So some of those songs don't necessarily sound like rap songs. It's sound like something it's like a hybrid of rap, rock, and something else. So, but this is what being independent does. You can literally create what you want to create. There are no limitations. There are no boundaries. And when you are an independent artist, you need to be living that way. You got to figure out what's the best sound for you, what's the best way to go about things for yourself. And along doing that, you'll discover some genius things, man. And, when I say freedom, it also goes over to your merch, right? I think every artist should have merch. I don't give how big or how small you are. You should have merch. And creating merch today is so easy. Speaking of merch, this is my shirt. You can't really see it because I'm driving. It's called Respect the Ginger, right? Got it made yesterday. I got it on my website as well. So I'll put the link down for merch if you're interested in this kind of shirt. Super dope, man. But anyway, again, you have complete freedom, complete liberty to do as you want, post as much as you want. Obviously, if you want to make money from it, you should be posting more often than not. But it's completely up to you, and you answer to nobody. It's all on you. The DSP, and for those of you who don't know, I'm assuming you do know, but if you want to release music to multiple DSPs at one time, then you go ahead, you get with United Masters, or there's a bunch of them. I can't even think of all of them, but there's a bunch of distribution companies that you can sign up for a year, and they're typically fairly cheap, but they allow you to put your music everywhere. DistroKid, United Masters, things like that. Number 2, I guess we segue into number 2 fairly well. Ownership. As an independent artist, you own your music. Now, if you're freestyling with somebody's beat or something like that, or doing a cover, obviously you don't own that, right? But if you're a rapper or something like that, and you buy, like I am, an artist, right, rapper, and you buy the beat, I'm not talking about leasing the beat, because leasing the beat is one thing, but buying the beat, you own that. That's yours. You can copyright strike somebody if you want to. I don't recommend it, but it's yours. You own that. That's your song, and if you want to get real freaky with it, I would suggest that you go ahead and get the song registered, so that way you can get paid when you perform the song and things like that. Make royalty when the song's performed and different things, but you have ownership. You own your masters. Choose to do what you want with your masters, but you own it. And that's, to me, that's a beautiful gift right there, right? Because now that you own it, you can do what you want. You can submit it for playlisting, you can submit it for movies, you can submit it all over. When you don't own your beat, right? A lot of rappers make this mistake. I've even made this mistake. When you don't own your beat, when you look at your contractual agreement, sometimes the producer will have it that if you leased it with a basic release or you released it with there's like 4 levels to leasing. But if you lease it with a basic release, you can only release 1 video, right? Like some producers have it like that. So it's important to know if you can release 1 or a limited amount of videos. But that's why it's great to own it. You know, you get to own it. You get to put it out there. It's yours. Market it. Dress it up how you want. It's free. You know, that's ownership. Also, every dime will come to you. If you upload to United Masters, the distro kit, all that money go to you. You know, unless you got some splits on there, and most of us have splits, but majority of that money will go to you in your pockets. Beautiful thing, right? So it cuts out the middleman. It cuts out the middleman. It alleviates all of that fluff, and it goes from streamer, right, to stream count to you, because of all the fluff. Because believe it or not, some of our favorite artists have these deals where the money has been split like 4 ways before it gets to them. So if they make $1 million, they didn't really get $1 million. It got hit 4 different times before it ever got to them. And that happens a lot with some of the bigger artists, but they get the bigger looks. They look better. They're on TV. They're in the magazines. And so I caution everyone to not rush to that. You know, I'm an independent artist myself. So I'm in the process of understanding the game even more and more and more. But these are things that I'm learning as I go along, and I think it's important to share that information. You know, knowledge is wealth. I think it's important to share that. So I think it's great to have ownership, to own your content, own your music. It's nothing better than that. These labels, there are labels today because of how content moves and merch and all that. There are labels today that will own your content. If you sign with a label and you don't negotiate, you just let them hand you anything, some of them will take your merch. Some of them will take your merch. Some of them will take your content, or try to own a percentage of your content. So be careful with that. Be real careful with that. You know, but again, you get ownership as the independent artist. It's all you. It's all you. Your YouTube channel is yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made that channel. That's your channel. You know, so it's important to understand that it's yours, right? The third one, which is actually number 1. This is actually number 1, right? The number 1, and I think this is the most important advantage of being an independent artist, one that we don't talk about enough, right? Before I give you number 1, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me. But number 1, I think, is the most obvious one. You get to learn the ropes. You get to learn the ropes, and learning the ropes gives you leverage that nothing else can give you. I'll give you an example of that, right? So let's say if you popping off as an independent artist, let's say you getting right now like 2 million monthly streams. Let's say you killing the game right now. Independent, you killing the game. Your content, you killing the game. When a label come to you, they can't come to you with the same deal they're gonna give Joe Blow with the hit record. They can't do that because you have more leverage. You've already shown them that you can do this on your own, right? So as an independent artist, you're gonna learn marketing, right? You're gonna learn distribution. You're gonna learn how to count the numbers. You're gonna learn how to observe the content. You're gonna learn how to release content. You're gonna learn how to monetize your content, monetize your pages. You're gonna learn all of those things, right? So when you come to the table, if you decide to go sign with a bigger label, sign with a label, when you come to the table, your negotiation is totally different. You can ask for certain things. You can demand certain things because you've shown them that, hey, look, without y'all, I still get a million monthly streams, right? And that's powerful, right? That's powerful. You also won't get tripped up because labels be having different contracts with different people. They might have people that can do art over here, people that do videography over here, right? But if you got your own thing going, and they come to you like, yo, man, we're gonna get our producer to produce this video. It's gonna cost them $7,000, but we're gonna pull out your budget. You're like, nah, my homeboy Rich do videos, and they all went viral, right? Like, it's a different conversation. So it's important to know that when you're going through your independent journey process, like I'm doing, document what's going on. Document how much stuff costs. Write it down. Write it down. Right? Write it down, because when it comes down, if you ever decide to go to a label, you can't let them fugazi you. They'll say, oh, this is going to cost $200 to me. You're like, no, I made this myself. Right? Like, it's just things like that. And it's not that the labels are evil. People try to paint them out as evil. Not that they're evil. They're trying to do what's in the best interest for the label in terms of money. So it's time for you to treat yourself like a label and do what's in the best interest of you, right? And so for some people, they're like, man, F being an independent artist, man, it sucks, it's long, it's lonely, it's boring, blah, blah, blah. But first of all, you don't have no choice in the beginning. You got to be an independent artist. There's nobody knocking at your door and they don't know you. But as you go through the process, man, you really learn the nuances, the ins and the outs. And that right there will be the main difference, right? When you come to the table in terms of negotiation. Because now, by this point, you already got your buzz, you already got your clout, you already got your fame. People already know who you are. The label is supposed to intensify that. And if you're already on fire, they're supposed to have you scorching. So, I think that's probably the dopest part of it, is that like you get to learn the ropes, man. You get to learn all of it. By the time you get a deal, if you ever decide to sign a deal, if I ever decide to sign a deal, I know exactly what I'm asking to be done. And you can't tell me that this particular budget is being impacted by so on and so forth, because I've had to do this with no budget. All my, like, if you look at my songs, right? 90% of the songs on my iTunes, 90% of the songs I have released, I did all the covers for them. Only a few of them I didn't do the covers for, right? I did 90% of the covers for these songs. So it's important to know that it can be done. You gotta be willing to do it, So I think those are the three best things about being an independent artist. I'm gonna go ahead and make a video about the three worst things about being an independent artist. But right now, those are the three best things about being an independent artist, man. If I can think of any other advantages, comment below, man. We can talk about it. But I appreciate y'all. I'm out.